Good afternoon, everybody. This is John Scarborough. We are in the shop today. We're doing a little bit of work. I wanted to give y'all a little bit of kind of some tips, a couple little things that you can do around your shop that can help your workflow, help speed you up, and just make your life more fun and enjoyable around the shop. Now, I will tell you real quick that most of these tips, if not all, are going to apply more towards people that are working with metal than anything else, but they are helpful, period. A lot of them are, and I say this because a lot of welders, I'm sorry, not welders, a lot of farmers are either doing work, they either have the ability to do work with metal, or if they don't, I always advise that you do learn to, okay? Because there's a lot of things you can do. There's a lot of money you can save yourself if you can learn to work with metal instead of just being able to work with other types of material. So we're going to get right into it. I'm going to try to cover these things pretty quick, but I want to get over these things and actually show you some really good tips. So I'm going to show you number one right here. If you look at this is a file. If I can get in the right lighting. Light is right on me. Can you see that? That's a file right there on the side of that table. I'm going to show you. I'm going to get one of these broken pieces here. So if you work with metal very much, you've always got a dull soapstone. You're always trying to find something to sharpen it on, and everybody knows you can sharpen it with a good file or something like that. So I take these files and I like to weld them. Well, I'm gonna grab this with my other hand. I used to sharpen stuff. I like to just kind of weld them on, just tack them on somewhere right here. That way you can just, right here on the side of your table, boom, there it is. You can sharpen your deal up. I've got another one over here on my welding trailer. I'm gonna walk over here real quick. You can see it. Oh, the lighting is terrible in this. Sorry guys, the sunshine is so bright. Anyway, I've got one right here. Welded right on right there. Terrible lighting, guys. I am so sorry. Should have planned this out better. And then I also have one here, the back of my welding truck, that I don't really use to weld anymore. But I've got one right there on the vise. Maybe you can see that one better. Look at that. What is that? See how small that is? It actually works pretty good. It's kind of handy. It's not too bad. Still gets it sharp. Works pretty good. But the main principle is you can weld, you can cut these little files up. These are actually pipe liner files. But you can use any any coarse mill bastard file, any type of coarse file at all you can use and use it quite well. You just want something that's coarse. It doesn't need to be really, really fine. A coarse edge is good for sharpening soapstone. And it's really good because then, now of course, if you don't know anything about working with steel, that's a really good way to mark steel, and it doesn't, the rain doesn't just knock it right off, you know, and even when you wipe it, it doesn't just come right off. It's a pretty good thing, but you can get it to come back off. So it's nice to have. You need to learn how to use that. Anyway, good tip there, I think. All right, let's move right on. This is the other one. Now, a lot of people, I'm going to say this before I do this, a lot of people ask me why I stage everything, why I set up everything and stage everything before I make my videos. That is not what I'm doing at all. I'm out here actually working. I'm actually working on extending our sawmill right now. So I've got these angle irons set up and everything. That's going to all be in future videos. I'm just out here working, okay? So I don't plan every video out. Sometimes it just makes sense to make the video. I like to give people great content. I don't like to just come out here and just try to post just to be posting. Okay, guys? So I really hope that that's valuable to y'all. So I'm not staging this. I mean, you can see I've got all of this. These are actual, this is where I've been actually cutting. So I'm going to move right into this. Everybody, with really any shop that has a pad and you're dropping anything heavy, you want some good rubber pads around, okay? This would apply to anybody with a shop, even without a shop. Even if you're out here working, okay, let's walk over here and look at this. Let's say you're working on this gravel right here, all right? Let's say you don't even have a shop. All you have is this gravel, okay? You get out here, throw it down on the gravel, now you can get down on your knees. See that? You're not gonna hurt your knees getting down. I mean, I am just flopping all the way down. Doesn't hurt at all. And it's only like 1/4 inch thick. This is just good bed liner stuff. Everybody needs a good chunk, couple of good chunks of rubber laying around their shop. Okay, but another thing I like to do is I'll throw it down just like that wherever I'm cutting. That way I can, whatever I'm cutting off, I don't have to worry about it beating up my concrete. That will save your concrete, okay? Take that right there. You don't have to worry about it hitting your concrete, okay? Heavy chunks of metal, whatever, it's really going to soften the blow. I've had big old chunks of pipe fall down on there, and I just knew, I mean, I could hear it. I just knew I busted my concrete. It dramatically softens that blow. That's what that rubber's made for. The second piece of rubber, this is kind of the same tip here, is going to be this right here, all right? This is a piece of baler belt. I've talked about this in another video, I believe. Let's see if I can lay that out, okay? And you know what that's great for? That's great for laying down flat chunks of steel, like this one right here. Okay? See that? That holds on there, okay? Now you can grind that, you can clean that up, you can do whatever you need to do, okay? This is a piece that I'll just carry around. It's not as good because it can slide on this table, but I've got one that I'm going to screw down to a wooden table. Works great. This also works really good on my fab table. You can't tell because the lighting in here. Okay, see the fab table there? When the fab table's cleaned off, I can lay that right down, clean up all of those pieces right there. Easy, super easy. Never ever moves, all right? That's great. You need multiple pieces of rubber in your shop, all right? So let's move on along. This is the next thing. Y'all saw this laying here, okay? This was staged. Not really, but this is what I put it here for, okay? This is chipping hammers, all right? Take this handle, throw it in the trash, and put you another good handle on there. I don't care what you put on there. You can put something from an old wrench. You can put whatever you want. It does not matter, okay? Put you a nice heavy handle, all right? You can knock that off because, and I personally, I shorten it up just a little bit because to me, these are, you don't want to be swinging this thing, all right? You just want nice, soft, easy blows like that, okay? If you're having to swing it, there's something wrong with your slag and you need to be learning more about your welding, okay? But put you a good little heavy, kind of heavier handle on there because this springy thing, I don't know what it is. It never feels good. It's big and bulky in the middle and then it comes down real small. Like who in the world ever thought that this was a good handle? It sucks. This is awesome. I love this thing. All right, I'm going to show you all this real quick. If I come inside, this is not really a tip. This is just where I got this handle from. This actually came from an old ratchet. All right, let's walk over here real quick. Let's see. There it is. This actually came from this old ratchet right here. See that? I cut the handle off, so I used it for this, but this old ratchet I actually cut off of here. This thing's awesome. I just had to show you all that real quick. I love this thing. It's got this end right in here. I can put a long ratchet on there, get it in really crazy places. It's also really nice because it's got this little deal. I can work it right there. I love this thing. I wish I had more just like this, and I'd make a whole bunch of these. Great. All right. That's just a little side thing. Just had to throw that in there, guys. Anyway, yeah, so then I took the handle, put it on there. You need to do that. It's awesome because you need the weight. The weight makes it better. It's not springy. It just works better. It's just great. Everything about it. All right, next tip. You see this? This is a heavy chunk of steel right here. All right. Have you ever been cutting a big, heavy, thick piece of steel? And this is really a bad analogy. I've cut much thicker steel than this. I should be showing you something. I just don't have anything real thick right now, okay? So this is 1.5 inches. For most people, this is pretty thick. So have you ever gone to cut something real thick and then you just can't seem to get it to cut very well? Even when you get it nice and hot, it just doesn't cut very great, okay? Let me show you this, all right? Now, I can't advise you to do this because it could be if you don't know what you're doing, some people could call it dangerous. So I'm not going to tell you to do this. All I'm going to do is tell you what I personally do, okay? If I'm cutting through heavier metal, you have adjustments on your pressure, on your oxygen, okay? When you cut through heavier metal, you can turn this adjustment up. You can also turn it down, all right? So when I was working on drilling rigs, I used to keep it set, and that's blurry, so it's hard to see, but I used to keep it set on 60 pounds, 60 PSI all the time because we were always cutting thicker metal, okay? I actually turn it farther down now because now I almost never cut anything really thick, so I turn it down and keep the pressure down. But you can turn this pressure up. Turn it up to 30, you can turn it up wherever you need to. You obviously don't want to overload your pressure. You got to be careful. So I'm not telling you to do this. I'm not telling you what to do. You do whatever you want to do, all right? So don't go blaming me, all right? Just be careful. All I'm saying is you can turn that pressure up and down, so keep that in mind, and that can help you to, A, if you turn it down, it can help you to save some money on your oxygen, and B, if you turn it up cautiously, then you can actually cut through, you actually have the pressure to cut through thicker metals a lot better, okay? So keep that in mind, but please be safe, okay? Be careful. Don't be stupid about the stuff I'm telling you. We'll go ahead and pick that up. I just can't help it. Throw it in there. Look at that. See? Now that's unstaged. I don't care who you are. All right. Okay, let's go right into another tip. Okay, take a look at this grinder, all right? Let's walk in here. Hope I'm not moving around too much, guys. All right, so don't you hate it when you hook a grinder or something with a power cord, okay? I know we're getting into a lot of battery pack tools now, but there are reasons for cords, and there still are cheap tools that you still have around the shop that have cords. So my advice to everyone, okay, plug that in, is to get you some really good stuff and put you a 15 to 20 foot, this one is about 17 foot, I think. Well, it might be about 15 foot. Put you a 15 to 20 foot cord on there. Not extension cord, just put you a 15 to 20 foot cord on there. Why do you want to do that? Why is that great? Okay, first of all, have you ever, I know everyone has done this, been walking around using their tool and then it will come unplugged from there. It's constantly coming unplugged from their extension cord. The reason is because it's right here. It's right here, okay? It's always coming loose. If it's really long, you don't ever do that, okay? The second reason is because a whole bunch of the time, you don't need it any longer than that right there. It's great, I'm telling you. My advice to you on that is to go buy you some good quality, high-grade cord material. It's actually not that expensive. If you go make it up yourself, go get you some good cord material from Lowe's or some kind of a Home Depot, some kind of good place like that. Great stuff. Awesome. All right, let's see. Is that everything? I think I had one last thing to show y'all. It's not really a tip, but it's something that I have noticed that not everybody knows. We'll just show that to you real quick. That is a low-grade nut. That's a high-grade nut, okay? Why am I showing you this? Because I'll see different people, and there's always different good reasons why you should weld, or why welding a nut to a piece of metal can be handy, okay? But I'll see people use low-grade nuts. I want to caution you against that, okay? If you use a high-grade nut, that high-grade nut is much better steel, and it's much less likely to have any problems with thread problems, for tearing out your threads or anything like that. It's a better steel. I don't know. I can't tell you what kind of steel it is. I don't know. I didn't even go research it. This is complete anecdotal experience, but it's not just anecdotal. It's every good welder that has taught me. I had several really good welders that taught me. Very fortunate to have that. And all of them say the same thing. And it's because as soon as you weld one or the other, and you can just tell really, really quickly. Okay? So I just wanted to say that. Spend the money. Go to Tractor Supply, something like that, and get you some nuts. Okay? Bolts, nuts, whatever you're using. Anything that you're going to be exposing weld to, put you a nice high-grade one on there. If you're not going to weld it, save your money, do whatever you want to do. Personally, I use high-grade stuff most of the time. So anyway, guys, I really, really hope that helped. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I just wanted to let everybody know that YouTube has changed their algorithm and has made it really difficult for y'all to see every video that is posted. It's a little bit discouraging, so I would appreciate it if you'd hit the bell icon. You have to subscribe first, but if you hit that bell, then you're going to be able to see all the videos, and that way you can make the decision whether or not you want to watch it. Thank you.